Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Tayo Salam. This is what the show looks like. It's match day for the S.Falcons of Nigeria. They're set to take on the Black Queens of Ghana in an AWCON qualifier right here in Lagos. Also in sport this morning, in the UEFA Champions League, it was a goal fest yesterday night. 35 goals were scored in total in games involving Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, PSG, Leipzig, and others. Also in sport this morning in the NBA, the 75th season finally tipped off early this morning, and there were statement wins for the Golden State Warriors and the Milwaukee Bucks, defending champions. All right, so that's it. There's a lot to come on the show later on. So stick with us for the next 55 minutes or thereabouts. Ademola Gubono is in the house once again, keeping his shirt for this edition of the show. Demola, always great to have you on Channel Sport this morning.
Good morning to our viewers and good morning, Tayo. Thanks for always having me here. Always a pleasure to be here.
All right, so let's just dive straight into it without further ado and go into the NBA. Two games were played last night, starting with the defending champions opening their title defense against the Milwaukee, that's against the Brooklyn Nets. That game ended 127-104 in favor of Milwaukee. So it's a winning start to the title defense for Giannis Antetokounmpo and the other guys in Milwaukee. Elsewhere, early this morning, the Golden State Warriors defeated the LA Lakers 121-114 to open their season as well too. So I called it a statement win for both teams, and that's where we're going to kickstart the show from, starting with the Milwaukee Bucks, the defending champions, against the Brooklyn Nets. What a game that was. Demola, I'll just come straight to you for that one.
I mean, brilliant display by the Bucks that were presented by, with their rings and all that.
Okay, yeah.
They weren't, awed by, the war scenario. And what a performance they had, 127-104.
Indeed.
Brilliant win. Of course, star of the moment and the star of the, last season's finals and MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo, massive double-double. 32 points. And 14 rebounds and 7 assists, just 3 shots of a triple-double there. So brilliant one for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And the other guys still coming to the fore.
I know you were excited to go on and on because the NBA, we waited for so long. Actually, we didn't wait for so long because it was a very quick turnaround. But we need to take a pause now and go to our correspondent on the island. That's Dare Idowu, who's got updates on the current NSAS protest going on in that part of Lagos. Dare, good morning. What is happening there right now? Talk to us.
Good morning, Tayo. I'm here at the Lekki toll gate. Of course, as promised by the protesters, they said they'll be here from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. to drive through the plaza and blast their horns, attach the Nigerian flag, wave the Nigerian flag. And that's exactly what they've been doing this morning. Also, the police have made some arrests. On my right, a vehicle, the police vehicles are parked there. If anyone is caught around here without a business, so to say, by the police, they would pick the person up and put them in the van. They've driven a set of protesters away, and some people are still around here. Intermittently, cars drive through, and just like you can hear in the background, I'm in the middle of a traffic right now. If you wait any moment from now, you will see them with the Nigerian flag, waving the Nigerian flag, saying NSAS, still chanting that particular slogan, Sarasoke, which means be audible against police brutality. Tayo.
Dare, I mean, I don't know, have you had the opportunity to talk to anyone so far?
Yes, we tried to talk to the policemen, but in a situation like this, the police have been accused of high-handedness. They don't want to have any statement with anyone. What they usually would do is they issue a statement to pretty much bring people around it. They would say the official statement will come from the state headquarters, but right now we haven't been able to talk to either the police, the protesters, as it is. See, this is the way the protest is going this way. A lot of people are driving through and saying a whole lot, and it's hard to really just If they try to park the car, there's a whole lot of blasting in the background as well. The horn blasting in the background doesn't necessarily mean that they should move. It's the sign of the protest. It's the way they said they were going to conduct this protest. And that's what's been happening this morning.
Okay, Dari, I want to thank you for the latest updates coming from the NSAS protest going on the island right now. We will come back to you for further updates before the show is over. Thank you. All right, so that's our correspondent, Dari Idowu, currently monitoring situation of the NSAS protests going on the island, the Lekki toll gate. Besides, I was going to call it a silent protest, but that's far from silent because you could clearly hear the honking of all the protesters, in the cars and all of that.
Yeah, I was watching earlier and I saw a couple of guys, being, hushed off into the police van. If only we could, get the names of those people, because the man was vehemently saying that he did nothing wrong. He was just there to protest. He's a Canadian citizen. They've collected his phones. He's been slapped here and there, and that he just came there, for a peaceful protest. So we hope the police can come up with a statement and let us know what's actually going on there, because if they are saying that they are there to protest peacefully, I don't see any reason why they should be manhandled in that manner and being thrown into the van.
You're spot on, and that's why we have our correspondent on ground who's going to give us a blow-by-blow account and details of what's going on with that protest. Let's dive straight back into sports, where Demola was already going in full throttle in the game between the Bucks and the Nets. The Nets, of course, championship aspirations are for the season, but it wasn't even a contest against the Bucks. It was more like a blowout, and you were really, for me, some starter from that game.
Yes, I was. I mean, there was no doubt that they were going to miss Kyrie Irving. But then that man, Kevin Durant, and the picture we just saw now, James Harden, they came to the party.
Right.
But I think the third wheel was missing, which is Kyrie. There's still no guarantee that he's going to play this season if he's not taking that jab. I think for the Bucks, being presented with that medal that early as of this morning, yesterday, it just kind of gave them extra motivation, extra ginger. So they went all out, and a deserving win for them. Not forgetting that, I mean, Durant didn't have a bad night either. He had 32 points and 11 rebounds. That's massive by standard as well. James Harden came to the party, 20 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds. So the stats are not bad, but it's a beginning of a new season.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to step it up, as the day goes by.
Indeed. I see what you're saying in terms of getting your championship rings on the opening night. I mean, it could work both ways. You could say, you said they celebrated too much and they weren't focused on the assignments at hand, or it could work the other way and say actually spur them on, which is exactly what happened.
Exactly, I think he spurred them on and away from home, and they got that win. So brilliant for the Bucks there in that win.
Indeed, brilliant. Giannis Antetokounmpo once again leading the way for Milwaukee with 32 points, but there was also important contribution from the Tigers forward Jordan Nwora, who scored 15 points. He's been speaking after that game. It's all about helping the team to win, and that's exactly what Jordan Nwora did on the opening night for the Milwaukee Bucks. 26 minutes, 15 points in total, 6 of 13 from the field. It's only going to get better. We've been saying it all along, right from when he came to start playing for the D-Tigers, and he got drafted into the NBA last season. And
I mean, pre-season, it was fantastic for them as well. Yeah. So it's no surprise, surprises there that after just 26 minutes, massive 15 points, it is no mean feat. And for the young man, he can only get better. I'm particularly happy for him, and I'm sure that as the season progresses, barring any injuries, he's going to do good things there in the NBA. Indeed,
it's going to do good things in the NBA. But for the Brooklyn Nets, though, they were bad on the night. Kevin Durant actually did lead the way for them, finished with 32 points and 11 rebounds as well as 4 assists. And he's not too worried that they've lost this game. It's just opening night, not cause for alarm. I get all of that. But as a championship, or as a team with championship aspirations, going up against a team that beat you in the last Eastern Conference Finals.
You
You know, a lot of people thought, okay, the Nets would come out swinging and perhaps get the win, but it didn't pan out that way.
It didn't pan out that way, Tyler. And I mean, like you mentioned, it's the first game of the season. You don't expect that. Yes, you expect that this, more or less be like a final before the final.
So early.
In the Eastern Conference, as it were, these are the two big guns.
It's like
there.
the preview of the final.
Exactly. But the point margin is a bit much. But I think being the first game of the season, they'll get their acts together. Like I mentioned, the missed Kyrie, no doubt, because if Kyrie had been in that team, in that game, it might have been, the game changer is a fantastic point guard. So him missing, and just Ivan and James Harden. I wouldn't say the other guys didn't come to the party, but if you look at the points scored by these two guys compared to the other teammates, it's just way too much. If the other guys can step it up as well, maybe the margin, of the defeat could have been a lot reduced. But
closer,
like I said, first game of the season, they will improve and get better, no doubt.
Indeed, Kevin Durant has also been talking about that particular game. Let's take a listen to him now. Kevin Durant of the Brooklyn Nets led the way with 32 points, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to get them the victory against the Milwaukee Bucks. He actually added 11 rebounds as well as 2 blocks, 13 of 25 from the field. But for the likes of James Harden finished with 20 points, but didn't shoot great at all from the field. 6 of 16 from the field for the Beard. Not good enough if they're going to contend for the NBA title. Let's take a listen now to Kevin Durant. That's how you end up losing games. Kevin Durant clearly understanding the reason why the Nets lost to the Bucks on opening night. Let's move on quickly to the big matchup of the night between the LA Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. And it was the Warriors that prevailed in that game. Very, very sweet victory for Steph Curry, who recorded the triple-double on the night for the Golden State Warriors. And for the Lakers, they've now lost 7 in a row, including 6 in preseason. I remember when we talked about this, a lot of people said there's no cause for alarm, no need to worry. They'll get better as the season progresses. But in this particular game, they actually did play well in spurts. As a matter of fact, they led in the fourth quarter as well until the Golden State Warriors made a comeback in that game. Like I said, they were led by 21 points from Steph Curry, who also recorded 10 rebounds and 10 assists. Draymond Green added just 6 points, while Andrew Wiggins scored 12 on the night. Jordan Poole scored 20 points for the Warriors in that victory. Let's get post-match or post-game thoughts from Steph Curry. Steph Curry leading the way with a triple-double for the Warriors in the win over the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I expected more from Russell Westbrook. It lasted 35 minutes, on the court, but just 8 points to show for his efforts. Customary. Russell, always a triple-double guy. But then, I don't know if there should be signs or worries, for concern for the LA Lakers now, but it's early days, but they've lost 6. This is the 7th now in a row. 7-0. They can do better. They should do better, especially with the guys that, they have in their ranks.
The team.
Yeah, but I think going forward, we're going to see much better play from these guys, no doubt about it.
No doubt about it, right? You have no doubt about that. LeBron James was the star player and was the leader for the LA Lakers, scoring 34 points, but it wasn't good enough for victory. King James reacting to the Lakers' opening night loss against the Golden State Warriors. Still one game, of course, so still early doors. No reason to be worried. That's the message to LA Lakers fans out there. We need to go on a break now. When we come back, we'll be doing a comprehensive review of the UEFA Champions League games that were played last night. I told you it was a goal fest. Join us again. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Let's quickly give you updates about the 2022 Australian Open, where it's been confirmed that there will be no visas for unvaccinated players, and that means defending champion Novak Djokovic might just be missing out on that competition. All players who want a visa to compete in the Australian Open will need to be fully vaccinated for COVID-19. That's according to the country's immigration minister. That's what he said. And Djokovic, we all know his level with Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal on 20 Grand Slams. And he has declined to reveal his vaccination status. And typically when you do that, that's because you don't want to answer questions about your likely status of being unvaccinated. And so, I don't know, it's a very, very tricky situation for someone like Djokovic, who's arguably or unarguably
one of the biggest names there,
the biggest
in tennis.
Player when it comes to the Australian Open.
My take on this is, yes, as personal as you taking the COVID jab, might seem to you, if you're going to a sport where the safety of other players aside yours, is going to be in jeopardy as a result of you not taking the, the jab. The organizers, they have the right to call you into question, call you into order. If you're not taking the vaccination, then you have no right being, in the court to come and play, because at the end of the day, I think all the players are coming to close interaction with, each other, and they can take chances, with other players. So if you're not going to come out with your status as if you've been vaccinated or not, then it's only right that they do what they had to do, in the sport.
All right, so let's take a listen now to the Minister for Immigration, Alex Hawke.
I don't think an unvaccinated tennis player is going to get a visa to come into this country. And if they did get a visa, they'd probably have to quarantine for a couple of weeks. I don't know that that will necessarily, when no other players had to. So I don't think that that's going to be a relevant issue. The vaccine doesn't care what your tennis ranking is or how many Grand Slams you've won. Sorry, the virus does not care. It's completely irrelevant. You need to be vaccinated to keep yourself safe and to keep others safe.
There you go. You just listened to the Victoria State Premier Daniel Andrews speaking about the need for players to be vaccinated to feature in the 2022 Australian Open. We'll continue to keep an eye on that situation. But one thing is certain, Novak Djokovic is the highest profile player that seems to be affected by this ruling. And there are other players as well, so the scores of players that could likely be affected as well. From the last updates, more than 65% of players on the ATP Tour are vaccinated, while at least 60% on the women's WTA circuit are vaccinated. So it's clearly not a 100% situation for both the men's and the women's circuits. And we're very interested to see what happens before the first Grand Slam of next year. Let's get on with the show now and go on and tell you about Handball Premier League. We have confirmation of all the teams that will be featuring in the 2021 Handball Premier League. And they are safety shooters. We all know safety shooters, they're the defending champions. There's also Caterpillars, Lagos, Seasiders, not Islanders, pardon me. There's also Lagos Torgy Marines, Plateau Vipers, Cater Stars, COAS Shooters, there's Conference Stars, Niger United, Sokoto Rima Strikers, the Defenders, Police Machine. That's for the clubs in the men's category, while in the women's category, it's the Quara Adorable Angels, that's the defending champions, Safety Babes, Kedo Queens, Bayelsa Queens, Imo Grasshoppers, Defender Babes, Edo Dynamos, Confluent Queens, Seasider Babes, and Plateau Peak Hawk. All right, so those are the teams that will be featuring in the 2021 Handball Premier League. Let's go over quickly to Osun State now. Not Osun State, Quara, and give you updates concerning the National Youth Games, where once again Delta State have topped that particular competition. It was a no contest because Delta State ended up with 104 medals in total. We've moved on from handball now. Let's go on to the National Youth Games, which was concluded in Ilorin State. Like I said, Delta once again topping the medals table with 114. There's also, from that 114, it was 60 gold medals, 26 silver, and 28 bronze medals. For Lagos State, they finished second with 19 gold, 25 silver, and 28 bronze medals. Edo State came third with 18 gold, 10 silver, and 12 bronze medals for a total of 40, while Bielsa accumulated 16 gold, 14 silver, 16 bronze medals for 46 overall medal. And fifth is River State, 11, 8, and 14 for a total tally of 33. Delta State doing what a lot of people expected of them at the National Youth Games.
They have to be doing something right in that state.
Surely.
The Sports Commission in that state has to be given a lot of kudos. National Youth Games, even when it comes to the games proper, as well, they always, seem to step it up, and they seem like they know what they're doing there.
Clearly doing something
talents
right
there year in, year out. So fantastic. Tile, 60 goals.
Wow.
The second closest was Lagos with 19. Look at the golf in class, and the difference is just so clear. 114 medals, at the end of the day. Brilliant, one for Delta State. I think other states should go and take a template and go and see how these people are, doing sports, running sports there in that state. And see. We have enormous youth, in this country.
Yep.
And I think sport. I don't think the powers that be have realized that sports can be a tool, because all the youth restlessness and youth on, not getting their act together in this country. Let them, all this energy, put it into sport, and see. There's no telling the amount of, good things that can come out from sports.
I see where you're going totally. I mean, you look at countries like China and the USA, are countries with huge youth population. They have leveraged that situation, and we get to see them dominating at the very highest level when it comes to international sports. It's high time. I mean, we said over and over again, we're starting to sound like broken records for the authorities to do similar to what other countries are doing, and perhaps one day Nigeria will start to realize its full sporting potential. Let's go ahead and listen now to the Honorable Minister for Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, speaking about the National Youth Games.
You will agree with me that it's been an awesome time of competition for our young ones, a time of bonding, making friends, networking, and of course developing healthy rivalries. This game has brought our best young talents in Nigeria together. This game is giving them the platform to do what they love to do most. Testimonies abound of many talents who were discovered in previous editions of the National Youth Games, who have become world-class acts and multiple Olympians for Nigeria. Let me commend our host state, the Kwara State government, the University of Ilorin, the MOC, the main organizing committee, have worked tirelessly behind the scene to make this edition of the Games a success. I also need to condemn and express my disappointment about a few of the problems around age cheating that continues to rear its head, and specifically even during these games. The Ministry of Youth and Sports Development wants to declare that going forward we will ensure that we adopt more scientific and digital means of identifying age cheats next time and mete out stiff penalties to the offending athletes and the state they represent. We will consider the NIMC registration as a requirement and others that will be rolled out later in our letters that will go to the states. There will be a need for all athletes to have the NIMC registration before they can participate henceforth. This database will be required, will be developed, and will work in conjunction with the organization in charge.
All right, as Honorable Minister of Sports and Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, commending the organization and the athletes for their superb performances at the National Youth Games in Ilorin, but also talking about that ugly, ugly situation of age cheats. Once again, it doesn't look like this can be overcome, because that's what it looks like. It's been on since time immemorial. We've thought that with technology and you know, with other stuff that we have in our favor, like we thought we'd be able to just stop it, like just end it totally. But it doesn't look that way. I've seen pictures of so-called, you know, under 13s at this competition. I'm like, no, surely this guy is not. And it's good to see that the minister acknowledges and knows that it's still a problem that has to be dealt with as soon as possible. And
like I mean, it's sad to see that at this kid, at this age, you know, they're still perpetrating such you know, cheats when it comes to youth sport. But like the minister said, going forward, they will make amends and make sure that things like this doesn't rear its ugly heads. There'll be proper record, proper monitoring, and then all those things. It might not totally be eradicated, as it were, but I think to an extent they can reduce the effect of youth age cheat when it comes to youth games like this.
It is super important, because if this continues to go on, then the essence of the competition is totally defeated, you know, and so there's no point. You might as well not do any youth games and just making it open for all, for any age to compete. Anyways, so congratulations once again to Delta State, the undisputed champions of the National Youth Games, 60 gold medals. All right, let's get on with the show now and quickly go to Abuja and give you updates concerning the Flying Officers Women's Football Preseason Tournament. It's a preseason tournament to prepare the NWFL teams for the upcoming seasons. 4 women clubs have qualified for the quarterfinals of this particular competition in Abuja. They are the Sunshine Queens, the Confluence Queens, Nasarawa Amazones, and the Edo Queens. Organizers say the Flying Officers Cup is a platform for the Nigerian Women Football League clubs to get ready for the upcoming season, just like I said. Let's take a listen now to Victoria Inegbo talking about this particular competition.
Primarily, the purpose of this competition is to expose the teams to competitive standards, you know, in preparation to the opening of the Women League seasons. In addition to that, you know, we are celebrating, or at least honoring, the young woman that failed or died last year, Arotile. And this year again, we are honoring fallen heroes. And also we are honoring and awarding, giving awards to individuals and group of persons that have, you know, affected and influenced the development of women football in Nigeria. So it's very, very loaded and exceptional. And again, we had foreign teams, you know, other African country teams participating. And if you know, we are hosting 16 teams. I mean, that is exceptional as well, because the last editions, the last year's edition housed 8 teams. This year we doubled the teams, and in addition to that, we are hosting a top Ghanaian league team that you know, is participating in this year's edition.
Victoria Nlemigbo talking about and explaining the purpose of the Flying Officers Cup. Wish all the 4 remaining teams all the best in the competition. Now let's move on from that to football, still football, but this time on the international level, and tell you that the Super Falcons of Nigeria will be in action today against the Black Queens of Ghana. It's an AWCON Cup of Nations qualifier. And it's a very important one, because if Nigeria is to qualify for the World Cup, they have to be at the AWCON first of all, right? So it's a very, very tricky situation. 2 rivals going head-to-head. for just one spot and one slot. We've moved past the controversial decision of CAF to actually make the format like this.
So there's no point. I have my reservations about
it. I think a lot of people have their reservations about that. But we've moved on. The Falcons have been training in Lagos. They'll be taking on the Black Queens right here later on today. And the players seem very confident. But first of all, let's take a listen to a player who's making a return to the team after missing the Aisha Buhari Invitational Tournament. I'm talking about Tony Payne.
As you can see, everyone is in a competitive mood. We're getting ready for the game against Ghana tomorrow, hoping to give our best and give it the best shot tomorrow. To be honest, I think the ABC tournament, I don't see something really bad that happened or whatever, because it's a friendly tournament, and also we were preparing for this particular game tomorrow, and it's only normal for the coaches to try their pattern, try their team, try different stuff for them to get a good team ready for the game against Ghana. So I get the whole emotional stuff from the fans. They want us to win and all of that, but we have to understand that being at the best level, it's a process. It's always a process. You don't get to win all your games and then still be the best or whatever. You have to lose some. That's how you learn. If you keep winning each game, then maybe we don't even know where we need to make proper correction or to make adjustments. So for us, it was a good tournament. ABC was good for the team, and we hope to make the fans happy again.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's my first time here in Nigeria, and it's a whole nother experience for me. So I'm just really happy to be here. Yeah, it was a pity for me that I wasn't able to attend that tournament, but I'm here now to play against Ghana. Qualification is really important, so it's an honor for me to be here, and yeah, we're just all really excited and hoping to beat Ghana in these next two games.
Tony Payne making a comeback for today's game against the Black Queens of Ghana. What are you expecting in this game on the back of what happened at Aisha Buhari Cup? And let me say, confidence it's not at the highest level, but you still expect the Falcons to get the job done today. I
would expect them to get the job done against the Black Queens, but then even the president of the Ghana's FA has been talking tough. Yeah. That it's about time they end, the Falcons' dominance when it comes to women football. I'm hoping that they have learned their lessons against the South Africans who took them to the cleaners, when last they played the ABC Cup here in Lagos. I'm hoping that this time around, with the complement of the full squad, that yes, they can hold their own down against the Ghanaians. I think I watched how the Ghanaians played. I think
they were at the ABC Cup
They were there, and the way we played together, as well. And comparing both sides, I think we can hold our own against them. We can still show them that, yes, when it comes to women football in Africa, we are still there, and about. I don't think that the girls, like the captain said, Asisato Shwala, I'm sure they want to give the fans something to cheer about, this time around. They know that they can do better from what we saw, at the ABC Cup, just months ago. So, yes, we're playing at home. Home advantage should be there for us as well. Indeed. The fans will be there cheering and supporting. So, yes, I'm hoping for a favorable outcome for the Falcons, but they have to go there and earn it, Tayo.
You have to earn it. No gimmies again in football, in women's football in Africa, as we've seen with recent results. So all the best to the Falcons are today against the Black Queens of Ghana. Hopefully, like Asisa Oshola says, they can make the fans smile again or happy again. We need to go on a break now. When we come back, we'll be telling you all about the UEFA Champions League, a review and preview of the games that were played yesterday and the ones that will be played today. Join us again. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Let's give you updates about the UEFA Champions League games that were played yesterday night. Like I said, it was a goal fest, 35 goals in total. We saw incredible matches between Atletico Madrid and Liverpool, PSG versus RB Leipzig. You can go on and on and on. So let's just give you the results of those games. Starting in Group A, Man City absolutely destroyed Club Brugge by 5-1, while in France, Paris to be precise, PSG defeated Leipzig 3-2. Lionel Messi with 2 goals in that game. Kylian Mbappe scoring the other one. Group B, Atletico 2, Liverpool 3. Porto 1, AC Milan 0. Still no wins for AC Milan. While in Group C, is Besiktas losing at home against Sporting Lisbon, while Ajax Amsterdam defeated Borussia Dortmund surprisingly by 4-0. Group D, Inter Milan ensured there is no new sheriff in town with a 3-1 win over FC Sheriff of Moldova, while Shakhtar were absolutely annihilated by Real Madrid by 5-0. Vinicius Jr. had a fantastic night for Los Blancos. Let's start with the game between City and Brugge. Just one word. Expected win?
Absolutely. And for a certain 19-year-old Cole Palmer who came on, and then got a goal, on his debut for Manchester City. Brilliant win for Manchester City was expected. So there's no, I think one of the best away records when it comes to Champions League, scoring 5 goals. But then it was expected that they were going to win, and they did just that. So kudos to Pep Guardiola.
Okay. All right. So still in that same group, PSG 3-2 over Leipzig. What a game that was.
Yes, I don't know why PSG always like to make things difficult for themselves. And then at the end of the day, they still, manage to find a way to win. That man there, Lionel Messi. And it begs to see if Kylian Mbappe is going to stay. What a phenomenon he has been for PSG. Somebody was comparing him to Lewandowski, his time at Borussia Dortmund, saying, yes, okay, he was going to leave, but they weren't sure. And in that season, he performed brilliantly for them. The same can be said of Mbappe this time around. He's been top-notch for PSG. 2 assists yesterday and a goal. He could have
scored
as well. He missed the penalty.
Horrible penalty.
So, brilliant for PSG to come back. But I think Leipzig gave them a good run for their money yesterday. It was an interesting game to watch.
They had to fight till the end to get that goal. Kylian Mbappe in your picture right there, scoring 1 goal and recording a couple of assists in that match. Let's move on to the Liverpool and Atletico Madrid. Another thriller played in Madrid. Atletico 2 goals down, came back with 2 quick-fire goals from Antoine Griezmann. And guess what? Went from being hero to villain, got a red card. Eventually, Liverpool scored and got a winner through Mo Salah.
There were questions, about the red card, if it was justified or not.
That was a high boots.
It was. They were saying that.
It was dangerous play.
It was dangerous play, no doubt. But then again, like you said, from hero to villain. But them going 2-0 down in the first 13 minutes, but I was like, oh, here we go. But to see them come back and fight back, of course, expected, for a team coached by Diego Simeone, you know that they always put on the fight. And before the match as well, there's been a bit of back and forth between both coaches, so Jurgen Klopp. I don't think they are friends. I don't think there was a gentleman shake at the end of the match either, because you could see Simeone just ran off to the tunnel immediately. The final whistle was blown. But fantastic game of football. It was a pick of the bunch. Mohamed Salah, yes, people have been saying yes, probably going. Ballon d'Or, candidate. And I think justifiably so, because he's been absolutely, phenomenal for Liverpool. I think 9 goals now in Champions League, and he has scored in every game so far this season. Brilliant win for Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. It shows that they have a bit of fight in them. It was tough for them because, of course, Atletico Madrid were never going to be any pushovers, especially playing at the Wanda Metropolitano. But then going to this weekend again, Liverpool. Manchester United.
Let's leave. I mean, they're going into that incredible game on the back of this fantastic win from Spain. So, of course, the confidence level will be very, very high indeed. Quick one, Porto defeating AC Milan. AC, their comeback to the Champions League not going well at all.
But they're still bottom of, their
3 wins, no win.
I was expecting some fight from them yesterday. Yes, I was expecting some fight from them yesterday, but seeing them go down there and couldn't, I think Porto had at some point 19 shots, a goal, and AC Milan only had like 2. It was an appalling performance by AC Milan standard. You expected better from them. But then Porto, I mean, they've been on the rise, the past couple of seasons. Forget the fact that they were beaten black and blue by Real Madrid, but they came back into this game and then they won. So kudos to them in front of their fans. Some joy to give their fans as well. I hope that AC Milan can step it up.
Indeed. All right, so that's it for games that played yesterday. Today, action will continue in the UEFA Champions League in groups F, E, G, and H. Group E, Barcelona versus Dynamo Kiev, Benfica, Bayern, And you can see Group F is United versus Atalanta, Young Boys against Villarreal. Group G, FC Salzburg taking on FC Wolfsburg, while Lille will host Sevilla. Group H has Chelsea taking on Malmo, and FC Zenit versus Juventus. Quick one on the United and Atalanta game. United obviously struggling for form. The coach seems to be under pressure finally. Because it seems it's been protected all this while, but it looks like it's starting to feel a bit of pressure.
Protected. Yeah,
you think so,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, because I mean, I listened to him, speak earlier. He said he wasn't minding what a critic was saying.
Inside, okay.
That he has the backing of the club,
okay,
and he's confident in himself. He knows what he's doing. But then their performance this past couple of games has been abysmal. They were totally outclassed by Leicester over the weekend, and he said that he's expecting a reaction from his players, and that today's game is going to show if truly those guys, because I think for me, Ole just has to get his tactics spot on. Over the weekend, him starting Matic and Pogba very, very slow in the midfield. They were totally outrun by Leicester City, and that's stating, that our own Ndidi wasn't in that game. If he had been there, it would have been much worse for them. But then you expect a reaction from Manchester United, today, a big club, big players, those players needs to, step it up. But then again, they're playing an Atlanta side who are free scoring, no respect of names. Those guys can play good football. Yes, they'll be missing, I think Gosens going to this match, but they have Ruslan Malinovsky, fantastic player. Zapata is there as well. These guys can score goals, so Manchester United need to be very, very, careful going to the game tonight. But you have Ronaldo. So you expect that some magic can still happen as long as that is on the pitch.
They had Ronaldo against Leicester as well, too, and against Young Boys as well. So, I mean, Ronaldo is a great player. Will probably score a few goals, but doesn't guarantee that United are going to win the game.
I can't call it. I cannot call it.
Exactly. It's a very, very tough one. If United are to win, they are going to have to play their best game to defeat this Atalanta side, who are a very solid side as well, too. All right, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, spoken already, expects a reaction from his team tonight against the Italians. Let's take a look at the papers now before we close the show, starting with Sporting Life. Yes, Osimhen is talking, is in the news. He says, I won't stop scoring. Of course, keep scoring, the guy, and hopefully he can end the season on top of the scorers chart in Italian Serie A. That'll be historic achievements indeed. Mourinho rules out taking Newcastle job despite what? You can find out the details on Sporting Life. Iheanacho travels to Moscow. That's for the Europa League. Dortmund wants Onuachu as Haaland's replacement. That's a very interesting story concerning Paul Onuachu if eventually Erling Haaland, or when Haaland eventually leaves Borussia Dortmund, because he's going to leave one day.
Yeah, he's going to leave. In as much as Onuachu has been scoring goals, in the Jupiler League there in Belgium, can he do it, when it comes to the Bundesliga? And can he fill the boots of Haaland? Haaland has been, a monster of a player. Prolific, scoring goals for fun.
Yeah.
I would love for Onuachu, to step it up and go into the big time, But then, can he prove his goal-scoring records there as well? I think he can.
Why not?
I think he can.
It's left to be seen.
So it will be an interesting move to, if that, indeed comes true.
Turns out. All right, Liverpool told to pay £67 million for Savic. Ronaldo recommends Zidane to Manchester United Chiefs. Can you imagine that if this is really, really, really facts? Ronaldo recommending Zidane to United Chiefs. We also have Complete Sports as well with us, and Sporting Sun. Those are the three papers for review. You can get them for all of the details, the exciting details in the world of sports. But that's where we're going to have to close the show. Many thanks for coming. Once again, your analysis always appreciated.
Thank you for having me, Tayo.
Thank you. Thank you all for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo Salam.